It's my wife's birthday tomorrow.
Really?
It is.
Are you gonna say happy birthday to her?
I am.
You
In
do
a
that?
special place.
You do that? You send a message, hey, happy birthday.
No.
Why not? You guys were friends at one point?
Sure.
I still do it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Return of the birthday comes. Oh, yeah, happy birthday. Oh, thanks.
I've done it once or twice before, but then I forgot. I just happened to remember because tomorrow I gotta go to family court.
Tomorrow's her birthday in court.
Yeah.
You should bring a little cake. A cupcake.
Inconsistent.
And I was on October 25th was when a Puerto Rican nationalist party took over the Statue of Liberty and hung the Puerto Rican flag all over
Your shirt.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
That's actually why we made this shirt. So this was in 1977, obviously. We got all the history here. So a lot of people remember this nowadays because Bad Bunny had it in one of his videos. Yeah, so he like recreated it. So basically what happened was this political party, basically this party in Puerto Rico that's always been around, and over the years their popularity has swayed less and more depending on what's going on and who's the president of the United States, and things go back and forth. So this nationalist party, they decided to take over the Statue of Liberty. So what they did was like a few of them, I forgot how many it was. I want to say 10. They ran into the Statue of Liberty. They locked the doors behind them and kicked everybody out and locked themselves in the Statue of Liberty. Went to the top and hung the Puerto Rican flag over the head of the Statue of Liberty. And they demanded the release of the prisoners that years before that had taken over the Capitol building. Okay. You know, people talk about January 6th. Oh my God, it was a tragedy. Da-da-da. You know, they want to over-exaggerate who died, when we really know it was only one lady that died. That's the truth. Right? They really got shot.
Right.
Jumped over, right? But the Puerto Ricans, when they took over the Capitol building years before, they actually shot the place up. Legitimately shot. They hit a couple people, you know, because they wanted to also fight for Puerto Rican independence. And this goes all the way back to Albizu Campos. He knew the lady, Lolita Lebrón, and he told her to go to the Capitol building and do this. Almost like a suicide mission. You know what I'm saying? Go do this. And she did it. She got caught. And then eventually, I think it was Jimmy Carter, I want to say. I can't remember all the details. Jimmy Carter eventually said, we're going to let you free. No, wait. I think it was Obama. Anyway, somebody...
I think it is Obama.
Somebody was like, let me let you
What
free.
was her name? Maria.
Lolita Lebrón. I actually got her page right here. This is the attack right here. March 1st, Lebrón traveled from Grand Central Terminal, where she rendezvoused with the rest of the group. Once they arrived at the United States Capitol, Rafael Cancel Marianda suggested that the attack should be postponed because it was late and raining. Lebrón responded, I am alone, and continued to walk towards the building interior. Isn't that crazy? She was like, I'm doing this by myself then. So she was like, I'm in there. The group followed, considered the attack a coup. I can't read French. The most important revolutionary act in the history of Puerto Rico's independent movement, the fourth uprising after the Grito de Lares and the Intona de Yauco and the Yauya uprising. The other members of the group seemed serene and optimistic while rushing towards the legislative chambers. When Lebrón's group reached the visitors' gallery above the chambers of the White House, they sat while representatives discussed Mexico's economy. Shortly thereafter, Lebrón gave an order to the other members. The group quickly recited the Lord's Prayer. Then Lebrón stood up and shouted, "Viva Puerto Rico Libre! Long live Puerto Rico! Long live free Puerto Rico!" and unfurled the flag of Puerto Rico. The group opened fire with a semi-automatic pistol. Lebrón claimed that she fired her shots at the ceiling while Figueroa's pistol jammed. Some 30 shots were fired, mostly by Cancel, according to his account, wounding 5 lawmakers. One representative, Alvin Morrill Bentley from Michigan, was seriously wounded in the chest. Upon being arrested, Lebrón yelled, "I did not come to kill anyone. I came to die for Puerto Rico."
Wow.
So the reason why they went to the Statue of Liberty was because they wanted her to be freed. And they basically said, set her free and we'll leave. Otherwise, we're going to stay here. And eventually, I think somebody convinced them to just let themselves go. But again, this comes from Albizu Campos. They called him the maestro, la maestro, because he was teaching people about Puerto Rican history and how these people took over. His beef was more with America than Spain, but his beef was basically Spain was basically helping, like getting us to a place to have independence, and America came in and took over. And ever since America came in and took over, they've basically been enslaving us. You know, they had this thing where they would build sugarcane factories in America. I mean, in Puerto Rico, right? And then they said, we're not going to pay you cash. We're going to pay you in cupones. And the cupones that we give you, you can spend it at this store, only in this store. And you can buy your food, your milk, everything, but that's it. But the store was owned by the company as well. So the company was basically like, you're working for these items in the store. That's it. Basically. And people were like, we want money so we can go buy other things. And, you know, they're like, no, we pay you in this.
Yeah.
And there was no real option because the only industry in the whole area was this sugarcane farm. So they're like, there's nowhere for us to make money, you know? Anyway, that was Albizu Campos' beef. So he was big on like, we got to separate ourselves from America, you know? And as difficult as people think it would be, or it could be, people are willing to die for it, thinking like, no, we need to be free. I'd rather be free and poor than rich and enslaved. You know what I'm saying?
How long did this last that they were in there?
Let's look it up. It says it right here. Let's read this. Puerto Rican nationalists and their supporters, including, oh God, I'm not going to read his name, occupied the Statue of Liberty for 8 hours, hanging the Puerto Rican flag from Lady Liberty's crown. According to an article by Carlos Rovira, the group called themselves New York Committee to Free the 5 Puerto Rican Nationalists. This referred to Lolita Lebrón. I'm not going to read all their names. And Oscar. All U.S. held Puerto Rican political prisoners. As Bruce Kenton describes in the radical walking...
36 hours, and then left with no charges filed against them in 1971. They held it down for 36 hours, bro.
In 1974, 21 college-age students barricaded themselves inside the statue for 14 hours. They were members of the Attica Brigade and demanded the removal of President Nixon. Also, this is another one.
These guys are definitely potheads.
Yeah, no, 100%.
100%.
Oh, that's it. But yeah, that's a good photo too. That's crazy. But just going back to your boy right here. He is in the vein of these people. He is looking back and like, this is what we fought for. We want independence. He goes, I believe in a free Puerto Rico. And he's mentioning it a lot more and more often within his music.
Yeah, he's getting political with it.
He's getting political with it. Where he winds up in the future, only God knows. You know what I'm saying? Maybe when he's done with music, he decided to want to jump into politics. If he ran for governor tomorrow, he'd win. Right? So, and if he became governor, what would he do? Would he fight for the Puerto Rico's independence? I mean, it's hard to fight for it because the first thing you got to do is convince everybody else.
Yeah.
Because you're like, all right, there's a... And last time, I don't know if you remember last time, we actually talked about the podcast. The Puerto Rican Independence Party got the most votes it's ever gotten in history. The last election. It wasn't enough to win. but it was more. So imagine you got the Democrats and Republicans, and let's say New York. New York, the Democrats are always going to win, right? Republicans are always going to come in second place. But imagine a third party comes and they win second place, and the Republicans are in third place. You'd be like, whoa, these people came out of nowhere, and now they're catching up to the Democrats, so much so that they surpassed the Republicans. And that's what happened in Puerto Rico with the Independence Party. They surpassed the second option, and they're basically right on their first. And this is the most has ever been within Puerto Rican history. So, now we're at a pivotal moment in history where it's just like, all right, when the next election comes, are we going to look at whatever her name is? I can't remember the governor's name. Do you remember her name?
She's Democrat, right?
I don't know. It's hard to say. The politics are different there because she supports Trump, believe it or not. She likes Trump. So I don't know.
Who's the governor of Puerto Rico and what's the... okay, I'm done with you. I'm done. This is all I'm giving you.
Kathy Hochul is the governor.
It didn't even let me say where.
No.
Oh.
Right there. Puerto Rico. What's her name? Jennifer Gonzalez Colon. So Bad Bunny talks crap about her because she's in the pocket of America. You know
Republican Party.
Oh, see, there you go. Look at her. She's looking behind the flag. She's in the pocket of America. So Bad Bunny doesn't like her. You know what I'm saying? There was a point where Bad Bunny put up billboards. He paid for billboards to saying, don't vote for that party.
Oh my God, she looks like half of my titis.
I'm about to say, she looks like a tia. 100% that's a tia.
What were you saying?
What's the name of her party?
The New Progressive Party?
Oh, that could be it. New Progressive Party. But you see how the terms are weird? She's in the Progressive Party, but she's a Republican. So it's like weird the way they...
It's like, I choose to say I'm this, but I'm going to act like this.
Exactly. So, but the way the way people differentiate is like, all right, are you for America or are you for Puerto Rico? Regardless of what party you're for. And Bad Bunny talking crap about her party, saying they're always for America.
Yeah, but I Bad Bunny's... You get a political leader who knows what they're doing, and Bad Bunny's the hype man.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Let's do it.
You know what I mean? It'll turn into a concert.
But the problem is we need that leader. There's nowhere to be found. The closest I find is when I go to that page. Remember that people we were supposed to talk to? There's a guy that speaks, and I can't remember his name. But to me, he seems like the closest. But he's just unknown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He basically says, I don't care what kind of government they choose to have, Puerto Rico. It's socialist, Republican, communist, whatever, capitalist, doesn't matter. I don't know. What I do know is that we need independence. Because we're only doing what they tell us to do, and we have no choice in the matter.
Right.
All of our money they have to vote on our money. The way we spend things, the way we buy things, what do we pay for, what schools we keep open. That happens over there in Washington. That doesn't happen over here. So we need to have that here. And then once that comes here, then we could talk about what we're going to do. But right now, we're not making decisions at all. You know what I'm saying? We're just here. We're just a puppet state. We're doing nothing. So you got a thread throughout history that people are fighting for independence. So much so that there was El Grito de Lares. If I remember correctly, let's see if we can find it. El Grito de Lares is when they bombed Puerto Rican citizens with military jets.
Oh yeah, that was the first time in history, right?
Never happened again. So there's a lot of things that happened in Puerto Rico, and I just ran into this one, the Ponce Massacre. There's another one. This happened on a Christian holiday that people were protesting, and I think somebody started either playing or singing the Puerto Rican national anthem. And the police department opened fire to shut them up.
This was the Ponce Massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they said, the officials say that there was gunfire.
Yeah.
And they responded. But it didn't make sense because the authorities were all perched up on the rooftops.
Yeah.
Like snipers.
Yeah, man. I don't know. There's a lot of, things that happen in Puerto Rico that's like... why people vote to stay colonized is beyond me. I don't get it. If New York could vote to be independent, I would vote for New York to be independent. Imagine New York City say, "Oh, we're gonna vote. We're gonna be our own state, 51st state." I mean, let's do it.
So
It'll be a liberal state, 100%.
I think the reason why we have this colonization mindset is because it's literally what's been programmed into us within the history of who we are. Like, so for example, you have, I've seen a lot of videos of people who are expecting food stamps. Where are my food stamps? Your tax dollars are supposed to support me. And I think that mindset is what we were told this is what it is. Be honest, are you gonna take down a freebie? Somebody came over right now and was like, "Yo, I got this banging pizza, I got some drinks here.
Let me get that."
Right. So, and then that translates into your kids growing up and seeing that, and they're like, "I'm entitled. This is what it's supposed to be." Like, for them, it's not even outside of the box. Like, for them, it's like this is what normal is. What normal is, you go, you have kids, you apply for benefits, and you get health, and you get food stamps, and you get housing. Like, what do you mean? Why am I in the wrong? This is what life is. This is all I know. When you put that into the scale of Puerto Rico, that's why we are the way we are, because we were colonized, we were used to that life set. Then we went from one owner to the next owner, and it was what it is. And with Puerto Rico, it took a second to even start tasting the little sprinklings of identity or rights. Right? We were treated just like slaves. We were treated just like, property, second class citizens, which is why I wanted to play this video real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
We were treated literally like second class citizens, which is where this video comes into play. Let's see if we could play it here. I'll start it over again because it's muted.
You in school, the U.S. once labeled Puerto Ricans an alien race. Even after Puerto Rico became a U.S. territory, the Supreme Court ruled in 1901 that the island was foreign in a domestic sense. It wasn't confusion, it was strategy. Those rulings, known as the Insular Cases, let the U.S. control Puerto Rico's land and people without granting full constitutional rights. The court claimed Puerto Ricans were too different to understand American principles, and that excuse justified taxing us without representation, drafting us into wars, and denying us a vote. The worst part? Those same rulings are still law today. Puerto Rico is treated as U.S. soil when it benefits the mainland, but as foreign when it doesn't.
It's crazy. It's so AI. There's so many mistakes. It's crazy. I'm watching this guy floating in the background. I was like, whoa, this guy's flying in the air.
We've had this discussion before. Without a good leadership and without good representation, we're not getting anywhere with this. And I've said it before. I've said it, and I think.
And I also think that Puerto Rico can't. Culturally, there's a separation between the American Puerto Ricans and the Puerto Ricans from the island, and I think there needs to be a unity there. Because I think that the Puerto Ricans in America can vastly help the island of Puerto Rico.
Well, in the current system, it can, because they can't vote for the president, right? They can't vote in major elections out here. They could only vote within their own, where the tierra is, where the dirt is, literally the land they stand on. They don't have influence over here, and that matters because over here is where the decisions are made for that place, for that island. So I heard that if they all came down here and lived in their, we've said this before, if they all changed their IDs and registered, lived in their titi's house, titi's sofa, it would up the numbers and have some kind of effect in the vote. Regardless,
do you have to be registered to vote in a specific state to vote in that state, or can I go to that state and vote?
Nah, you got to be registered to vote in that state, right?
Or you just need an address.
Right.
You just have to have that.
Your
address
like,
before
yeah,
this day.
right. Your locality, right?
So if
Your
I'm like, yo, take a vacation here on this day or before this day.
go to DMV,
Register here. Get your license.
change your
over
address to here.
When you're done, go back to Puerto Rico and in November.
And do
what is
it.
November whatever. What is it? 4th.
5th.
Come
the
down and
next
vote.
day. Right.
Take
Exactly.
another vacation. Come vote.
They're good.
Let's do it.
But like you said, I agree. There is a substantial cultural divide between the ones that are born in the mainland and the ones that are here. And growing up, you know, the ones that were born here were traitors. You're not really Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
You know, that mentality right there is.
Yeah. You see that a lot with. Oh, you don't speak Spanish? Oh no, you're not Puerto Rican.
Oh, really? Your mom didn't teach you, bro? That whole mentality has to go.
Yeah.
You know, that division stuff is. If you identify as Puerto Rican, even if you're a 1/4% Puerto Rican and you're hollering, you know, that you're Boricua and you rep, that whole mentality of division has to go first.
And
off.
that mentality was it's an American mentality. That's not from Puerto Rico. That comes from America. You see it all the time. I was listening to these two young guys talking years ago. This is like when Trump was first running, when I worked in the hospital. I'm listening to them talking. They were talking about Cardi B. And they were like, because she speaks Spanish. And she made that, I think she made a Spanish song at the time, whatever. And they were like, oh, yeah, she's only Spanish when she's only black when it benefits her. And I'm like, what? She's from New York. She was born out here. Her parents spoke to her Spanish because I don't know if she's Puerto Rican or Dominican or something like that. Right? Like, this is the entirety of who she is. She speaks Spanish. She understands Spanish. But she grew up in New York. So we have a specific type of, I want to say ethnicity, but I know it's not ethnicity. It's a specific culture we have. We have and it's not just Puerto Ricans. It's Dominicans and even Cubans if they come down here. That there's a specific Spanish/New York culture that's very specific to us that doesn't exist anywhere else in this world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have a specific culture because we bring our culture from the island and then we adopt New York City culture. You know, we have a specific kind of the way we talk, the things we do, what we like to eat, or we like to, you know, listen to music, listen to, you know. But I think if that American mentality of separating people by different races and colors, if we get rid of that in Puerto Rico, you see that seeping now with Puerto Rico. There's a TikTok a channel really, and she's like, I want to highlight Afro Latino in Puerto Rico. I'm like, don't do that. You're separating us by color now? We don't do that. We don't separate people by color. You know? Some of our biggest heroes. Think about Roberto Clemente. Roberto Clemente's dark skinned. And Puerto Ricans look at him like he's one of our heroes. Right. We don't look at it like, oh, he's dark skinned. He's black. Nobody even says it. He's Puerto Rican. That's it. Trinidad. Nobody says he's Afro Latino. We never even said that. He's Puerto Rican. That's it.
He really is.
He's on the same level as Mark Anthony. If they stand next to each other, they look from different countries, right?
And I would assume they're the same size and everything. I met Trinidad.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So you don't look at them and say he's an Afro Latino. We don't say none of that. They're Puerto Rican and that's it. That mentality comes from America that likes to separate people by race and culture.
Yep.
You know.
So we got to solve that. We got to solve that brainwashing of there's a separation. You know what I mean? That's the first thing, because we're not going to get united if we still look at each other as foreigners with the same blood running through our veins. Yeah. Number one. Number two, the person that leads has to be someone that's not Republican, that's not Democrat, that honestly independent or something in the middle. To get both sides to be like, you know what, we need to do this. Number three, and I think this is the most important thing, there's no way we're gonna get independence without getting our money back from the U.S.
Yeah, I think there has to be a process. There's some kind of process
where
that has to happen.
We fought
to be
in
like
wars.
America's like, we're gonna give whatever company, I want to say company, I would say people. If you're an American citizen with no Puerto Rican heritage, there's a 10-year, 15-year process that Puerto Rico is going to gain its independence from America. you have to sell your property to a Puerto Rican national during that time, or you're subject to whatever laws they make on you, and they'll kick you out. And you won't be able to sell anything probably because Puerto Rico makes those laws, and that'll in a way that will kind of give Puerto Rico back their property little by little as people start moving out. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
Puerto Ricans start buying it. Now Puerto Ricans from the States are like, well, I have Puerto Rican heritage, I can go now.
Right, because who owns most of the lands? The banks, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
So
40% of Puerto Ricans collect Medicaid. I mean, not Medicaid. What is it called? Food stamps.
Yeah.
That's a huge amount. That's probably more than most states.
Think about that, and that goes away.
Yeah, that goes away. But you know, there's
And
an
the-
adjustment.
the-
There's
the-
an adjustment in the economy. Things go lower. You have to.
Again,
know?
but I don't even think they have the infrastructure to feed themselves. Everything is imported.
Yeah, but that's fine because then now you open up the doors.
People
what
are
I'm
gonna die.
People won't die, bro. What are you talking about?
They will die.
If I want to buy food, if I'm in Puerto Rico and I want to buy food from Venezuela, which is cheap labor, cheap money, cheap food,
Oh,
how do I get it?
right. Import, export.
How do I get it now, though? I got to go past my island to America, switch boats. I got to pay for that on taxes. And then it comes back to me.
Right, but I'm saying that if it went independent without the right leadership and structure, yo, bro, it'll be like Haiti. It'll be like Haiti.
I mean, Puerto Rico and the Dominican
It'll be
Republic
like freaking.
are already making deals, right? They're already making I don't know if you've seen the electric deal they have.
No.
They're running a cable from the Dominican Republic to Puerto Rico under the water, electric cable.
Ooh.
And they basically make a deal like, if a hurricane comes and your power goes out, we'll give you electricity.
Oh, we'll tap in.
And if we go out, you give us
tap in.
electricity. Yeah, we kind of exchange and we make sure that we keep each other on. You know what I'm saying? So we never run out
If we
of power.
both get screwed by the same hurricane,
Then we're done.
both screwed.
Yeah. So we're going to cut that line. Like, wait, we got our own shit. Don't worry about our own shit.
You got some candles?
But what I'm saying, historically, I mean, look at this flag, right? This flag was based on the Dominican flag. The purpose of this flag was to say, hey, we're one people. Us, Puerto Ricans, Dominican, we're one people. Same thing what happened with the Cuban flag. And right? They said, hey, we're one people.
Yeah.
If anybody's going to unite, it's Puerto Rico. It's to be like, hey, Dominicans, Cubans, we're all the same. We all know that we're the same.
Oh my gosh.
We're the only freaking Spanish-speaking Caribbean countries.
If
what
they
do we-
got, you're saying if they got together?
They got together. Like, yo, let's make some deals here. Dominican Republic's not part of America.
No.
But so Dominican Republic and Cuba can make deals right now, today.
Yeah, they could mess with each
Right?
other.
So if Puerto Rico became independent, like, all right, now we can make a freaking union. A Caribbean Latino union. Let's make trades. Cuba's a big island. You could grow a lot of stuff there. You know what I'm saying? Puerto Rico, everybody wants to go there for vacations.
Right.
So let's make some deals here. You know what I'm saying? Let's do some trades here. Let's make it up. You know, and maybe our dollar is not going to be as high as the American dollar. It might have to come down some to match the people around us.
Definitely gonna have to come down.
But now we can import from the quote unquote poorer countries from South America now, directly. You know what I'm saying? We can import from Mexico straight up. We can import from Jamaica. Jamaica has a big farming industry. We can buy from them. We don't need to go to America no more. Straight here, cheap. Send on a raft. It doesn't have to be on a special boat with special, what is it called? Has to be a special boat with special flag. Look a certain way. It has to be a certain color. We don't care about that. Just send it over. Cheap. Let's get this party going. A Puerto Rico might be kind of the way Cuba does, where they get food and they separate it to everybody. Maybe we could do that. Right?
Right. Or at the very least, those three countries, if they were, I mean, they don't really need to be, right? Like, if America took back the Panama Canal and needed to protect it, those three islands would be armed to the T, right?
Yeah. I mean, bro, this if
But it's not even necessary now. So
no, but even then, like, if you made a conglomeration, let's say in a perfect world, these three countries decide we're going to unite in the Caribbean, they could go to Panama and be like, mira, you're closer to us than you are to them. You know what I'm saying? As a people, our cultures are way more similar than they are. And they're colonizers. You know what they did. Why don't you unite with us?
oof.
And then we make a deal with America and we all make money.
They need you, bro. Why don't you step into that role? Retire.
I gotta move over there. They don't want a New Rican to help. They want a Puerto Rican.
You're not
to
real
help.
blood. You have to be born.
But I'm saying, like, there's ways to do it. It's just a matter of getting up. Just ask. How hard is it to ask a question? to go up to the president of whatever country and be like, look, this is what our plans are. This is what we want to do. What could we do?
You think we'll see that in our lifetime?
I don't know. It depends on what happens. I mean, easily, I can't see why at least the Dominican Republic and Cuba can't make a deal. Right? Because from America, you can't go to Cuba. But the Dominicans can. Right?
Yeah.
So why don't the Dominican Republic say, hey, you want to visit Cuba? Come through us. You get off in Dominican Republic on your American Airlines, and then you get on the Dominican Airlines, and you fly to Cuba, and you get to experience Havana in the 1960s. Right? And then we tell Cuba, yo, this is going to bring money to you guys. Help us out. Give us some cigars so we can sell these Americans over here some cigars or whatever, you know? Let's make some deals here.
You know what? We were going to try to have someone from the... What is it called? The diaspora? The
Puerto Rican diaspora, something or other.
Right? And what are they called? What is that? Activists, right?
Yeah, like an activist.
We were gonna have an activist come in who are advocating for the independence of Puerto Rico, correct?
Yeah.
Can we find someone who is against the independence of Puerto Rico that knows their stuff politically when it comes to the island? That'll be a great.
That's easy to find.
No, but someone who actually knows a little bit of what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Not just you and me.
Yeah.
We're the hosts. We don't know much. We want to be taught something, or at least given an opinion. I had actually taken notes for that guest for that day.
We should actually have this guy. I doubt it. His numbers are way too big now for this.
Who's
this
that?
guy? You recognize him?
No.
He does a lot of Puerto Rico stuff.
I've probably seen a video or two.
Pero how? Somehow, I don't know. You know, he has a video. This actually might be it right here. Is this it? All Puerto Ricans. Look, that's hilarious. You could get a Puerto Rican. You could be. I want to say a member, but I know that's the word. What's the word I'm looking for here? A citizen. You could get Puerto Rican actual citizenship.
Okay.
Spain, if you want to go to Spain, or you could use that if you want to move to Spain.
Oh yeah. We spoke about this.
Yeah. So
it's easier for them.
Yeah, they allow Puerto Ricans because they look at Puerto Ricans like, oh, you guys are our offspring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we made you guys so you guys can come.
You got our blood.
Yeah.
So come on over.
So he shows you how to basically go to the process, the website, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to register here. Look, this is Bad Bunny.
That's hilarious.
I would choose to be Puerto Rican in every lifetime. I say amen. Oh, these are the guys from the Plena, whatever they're called. Los Pleneros.
You saw the live concert that he had, right?
Bad Bunny?
Yeah.
Oh, there's another guy too we could talk to. He's liberal. He's a liberal Puerto Rican. He talks about Puerto Rican stuff and, you know, whatever. But then when it goes to American politics, he gets real liberal about it. Right? And I think he's against independence. But then you got another guy. I think he's pro-independence, this guy. But there's another guy. Let's see if we run into him as we're going. There's another guy we could talk to. He's good. He knows a lot of Spanish in general, just all types of different islands. Damn, I really want to find the guy that he mostly speaks in a car. Oh, this is he's talking crap about him probably. Mira, qué pendejo, mira, no sabe nada. Like, he's talking crap about this lady. Man, Puerto Rican has some beautiful women, huh? Hey, qué lindo.
The cutest.
All right, whatever. It's nice.
That video's the guy that he dresses up and wakes up. He washes his hair. Everything is Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
His socks, his toothpaste.
Let me actually, if I do this, he might come up because he's very big on that.
I love the fire and the ambulance.
Oh, this guy.
In the background.
This guy, he's very big on Puerto Ricans letting go of the Christianity and going back to the Taino ancestors and following their religion. He's very big on that. Qué lindo.
Interesting.
Oh, look, she thinks she's what's the name of that freaking avatar? There you go. Mira la bola. Wow, is this AI? Because this looks fantastic.
It's definitely AI.
Wow, that looks great. I want to go. This looks like the dude from church. What was his name?
When it looks that crisp, you automatically got to think the production value to get it to that level is not on a TikTok video. You know what I'm saying?
Wepa. There you go. I'm gonna
It's
record
not. This is not AI. This
No.
is
Hey,
straight up.
They're wearing boxers. See it?
Hell yeah, they are.
Hey, the kids. Look at all the colors. It's beautiful. She looks like a robot. Right, but look at all the beautiful colors of the rainbow we have here.
Oh, as far as ethnicity, I'm
the
like, what colors are you talking
see,
about?
We got a little boy right here, white. You know, see? Nice skin. We got them all. We got them all, bro.
We do.
Is she Puerto Rican? She looks like a robot, bro. Almost like too pretty, but not really pretty. Like I don't know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Like she's so pretty that she's not really pretty. You know what I mean? Like
Halle
it's almost
Berry?
like too much.
Halle Berry vibes. That's what that's giving me.
There goes another one.
Another.
Es
Yeah.
buena la abuela. Yo, grandma looking fit.
Grandma looking great.
This is fun to watch. This is the kind of stuff I like to go to. I want to bring my kids to things like this. They have during Columbus Day, they started doing like Indigenous People Day. I want to find one that does Taino stuff, but every single one I found that I'm like, oh, I'll even drive to it if I have to bring my kids. They all like, oh, we're gonna celebrate our ancestors, and I'm a Christian. I don't want to do that. I don't want to bring my kids to that. But I'm okay with something like things like this, like historically, I'm cool with that. But they're like, all right, we're gonna pray to the ancestors. I'm like, no, we're not gonna do that.
Acknowledging the ancestors. Is
Yeah,
one thing.
totally, 100%. Acknowledge them is fine, but
to do a whole prayer.
this
to
would be
them?
fun to go to Puerto Rico and they pray like this. Oh, we should do that next year.
We should. That's the next
Next
year's
step.
theme.
I'm doing it next year as well.
Do you remember the concert that he did in the last one he did, right? Una Más, right? I think it was called.
Verano Sin Ti was last year. No, a couple years ago.
The one he did recently with Amazon, whatever it was. No, the one he just did, you freaking.
That's the one, you pendejo.
It wasn't called My Photos.
What is it called?
Una Más.
Una más que.
One more, that's it.
One more photo.
No, you idiot.
He's big on that. You know that, right?
That's great, but that wasn't what it was called.
Yes, it
one
was.
more.
Look it up.
Look it up.
Actually, hold on. We should ask AI.
Yeah, let's talk to her.
Bad Bunny's Amazon concert. Is that already wrote bunnies? No me quiero ahí.
Yeah, Una Más.
Una más.
That's what it was. One more. One more song. One more time.
One more photo. Oh,
This
man.
guy.
Can it? I always wanted to rewatch it.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah, before you couldn't.
What did it say in the top?
No me quiero ir.
Right, I don't want to
de
leave.
aquí.
One more.
Una
One
más.
more hit.
All right,
One
so
more.
we're both wrong.
What? No, it's Una Más.
Oh, no, it's not. It's all this and una más.
You didn't even want to give me a little bit of credit. I got you.
Not at all.
You remember when he was representing the difference in the music and the culture where it comes from?
Yeah.
Right? That he got that from this over here.
He got it from where?
Right here. You ready?
Salsa es ritmo, rhythm. It started in Africa con la conga,
I want to hear my
skin
right
and
ear.
wood,
I know. Me too.
el bongo, the basis of salsa, el clave. El ritmo de África al Caribe, Puerto Rico, Santo Domingo, Cuba, México, Sudamérica. Here mixed with the Indian, el timbal, el güiro, todo ritmo, la maraca, el clave, and now the heartbeat, the soul, el corazón de la salsa, the bass. Aha! Woo! From Europe, Europa, the 88s, el piano.
Look like white boys.
The sons and daughters came to the United States. Here with the influence of jazz, the brass. New York, Los Angeles,
Yeah, man, somebody's tía right now.
Right now, grandma.
esto es la salsa.
Yeah, love it.
Qué
What a
lindo.
mixture of so much into what we got going on.
Yo, you heard he's gonna make an album with these guys. These guys? No, Los Pleneros. What's their name? What's their name? Pleneros. I can't say that word. Pleneros. No. How about this? Plena. Nope. You're in Spanish. You're in English.
Yeah, it's like
Plena. Fool. Plena music history. What's the name of that group though? Anyway, Bad Bunny.
in music. The
Bad-
next question. The next question. The next question.
No, but I'm looking for the
The
band.
next question.
What? I don't want a question. I'm looking for a specific.
But it
key.
says it in music. Plena in music. What is plena in music?
No, that's not what I'm looking for.
Plena in Puerto Rico.
I know what it is. I want to find the guys.
Just type in group. Plena group.
No. Los Pleneros.
De la 21.
It's not Los Pleneros either. Anyway, so Bad Bunny's gonna make an album with not with these guys, but the guys that they performed on. I think it's called Los Primos or something like that. I can't remember.
So is this his height? Does he go higher from here, Bad Bunny, you think? Or is he capping right now?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know.
I think he's capping right now.
I don't know.
You know why I say that? Like
It's-
for me, Mark Anthony was in 1996 when he outsold Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, but see, we still listen to Mark Anthony today.
We do, but
Hard body.
we do, but
When was the last time you listened to Alex y Fido?
we do, but if you had to mention his highlight, his biggest, would you say it's now? No, I would say it's then. Everyone was listening to him. He was number one.
Yeah, yeah, but it's hard to say because I feel
First
like
of all, he's still young.
I feel like he's jumping into a different genre right now. He's gonna jump more into salsa right now, and I think that's gonna keep him at a level, like a level that he becomes historical, like
Right.
Bad Bunny. I mean, like Mark Anthony.
Right.
Where Mark Anthony, no matter how old we are, we're gonna look back at Mark Anthony and like, yeah, that was one of the best salsa singers.
For me, he's definitely gonna have what you're describing. But what I'm saying is, there's always a height in your career. I think he's right now. This is it. I mean, he's breaking records. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's breaking records all around. So, is he gonna be able to do that again? I don't think so. I'm not hating on him. I'm not saying that he's not.
I don't know, man. If he does that salsa album, a lot of people might be like, wow, I didn't listen to Bad Bunny before, but now.
Yeah.
Because he's bringing, we talked about this too. It's funny, we did talk about this too. Where we talked about how there was like a gap of salsa, like that wasn't there anymore. Like we had the old school salsa, like you're saying, Mark Anthony and them, but then there was a fall that we started more reggaeton and there wasn't really no new salsa music.
Like 2005, 2010.
Yeah, there was none. For a long time, there was none.
Yeah.
And then, so when Bad Bunny came out with this, we're like, whoa, new salsa.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
You
He
know?
definitely went hard on the
Yeah.
salsa with this
And
one.
I think he sees that. He's like, oh, people love salsa. Let me bring that back. This is the music of our people. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so that's Bad Bunny. What was the beginning of this podcast? The Puerto Ricans.
Puerto Rican independence. Yeah.
Independence. And today's
But okay, but look, Bad Bunny. If Puerto Rico became independent and they did what Bad Bunny did, right? And they said, hey, all Puerto Rican artists around the world, if you want to support Puerto Rico, do a residency in Puerto Rico and have people vacation over here. You know what I'm saying? Do that for us as a country. Do this as a gift to your people, your ancestry. You know what I'm saying? Because we need you. We birthed you. You're out of the world. Come back to us. You know, I think people would do it. You know, especially if you're an artist like Bad Bunny. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If Mark Anthony said, "I'm gonna do a residency in Puerto Rico," you think people will fly out there and watch him?
If he did what?
A residency in Puerto Rico. He's like, "I'm gonna do a month as well in Puerto Rico. I'm gonna do what Bad Bunny did."
Hell yeah.
Right? Of course they would.
Wouldn't you go?
Yeah, I wanted to go for the Bad Bunny one. I couldn't get tickets.
Oh, right here. Los Planeros.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. That's what I'm saying.
Bro, it's right here, bro.
Bro, I typed that in. Remember? It gave me like a weird thing. just forget about Bad Bunny. Just look up the Planeros.
Oh,
We already
because
know.
I thought you said that he did want to do an album together.
Oh, yeah, they are going to do. Oh, look it up right there. Look, collaborated with the Puerto Rican musical group, Los Planeros.
That's the song they did.
Look up new album. See what they. Yeah, type in new album.
And it says,
Bad Bunny did not release a new album with the Planeros, but their group collaborated. It says, my photo. No.
nope.
That's
So it's rumored.
No, that's a rumor. Bad Bunny said, I forgot where he was at, and he said that he was going to make an album with them. He said he's working on an album with them, whatever that means. Whether that be their album that he's going to feature on, or he's going to do his own album featuring them. You know what I'm saying?
Is Bad Bunny part of the LGBT?
Yes, absolutely.
No, he's not.
Unfortunately. But he did the gay kiss. We all saw it.
We all saw it.
Can't hide from us, Patito Frito. Patito Bunny. Nobody likes Pato Bunny. Everybody likes...
Straight Bunny?
No, they like the Trap Bunny. and Salsa Bunny.
So if you ask somebody random what kind of music is Bad Bunny, what would their answer be?
Puerto Rican.
That's a good answer, actually.
Puerto Rican music.
Puerto Rican music.
Because it's different genres within Puerto Rico. He does them all.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
That's actually a surprisingly good answer because I'm like, salsa? Now,
but he jumps around.
I remember back in the day with the trap. I started a whole trap music list.
Yeah.
You know, with just that.
And the thing interesting about Puerto Rican music is, I mean, just Puerto Ricans in general. You find your hardest trap rapper in Puerto Rico, reggaeton artist, you know what they listen to? Salsa. Right?
What else do they have?
But I'm saying if you find a rock and roll artist, he's not going to be like, yeah, listen to hip hop.
If you find a rock and roll artist.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're less likely to be like, oh yeah, I love freaking DMX. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
they
in
keep it similar to.
Yeah, in Puerto Rico, we're like,
what
no,
they know.
we listen to each other. You know what I'm saying? When I go to grandma's house, she puts on the salsa. I love that. You know what I'm saying? Or I go to my cousin's house and he likes Spanish pop.
This is
Puerto Rican pop.
This is why I say that he's reached his high point in his career, because you think he's pulling Mark Anthony out to do that Puerto Rican, the Puerto Rico song. That's a dub. He did it. That's done.
That's done. Yeah, but he don't only have to do it once. He might actually do a song. Think about Mark Anthony.
He's done a song with Mark Anthony, right?
Has he?
Think so.
I don't know. See, look, he jumps to the last concert. No, that's it. They didn't
with
make
Will
it.
Smith.
What the hell are you talking about? What is this garbage? How did Will Smith get involved?
Yeah, you don't remember this song?
No.
Está rico. Tú sabes que está rico.
Pause this for a second. We gotta hear this, guys. We're coming right back.
We'll be right back.
That was Trap Bunny.
That was Trap Bunny.
That wasn't Salsa Bunny.
Put it back
We
on
want
the
that.
screen.
We want that Salsa Bunny to do a song with Mark Anthony. We don't want Trap Bunny. Oh, we got this guy too.
He's been at everything, that guy.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at Trap Bunny.
Oh, sorry. Actually muted.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's.
Get Will Smith out of here. Jesus Christ. Will Smith is the one that's like, hey, Mark Anthony, what are you doing? You're not supposed to do that. How do you think this is?
That's definitely
Look at
Tropical
Trap
Bunny.
Freaking Trap Bunny right there. Look at him with his freaking weird haircuts.
Later on, they would freaking
Change the freaking world. Los Planeros. Let's see if they got.
be.
Oh, yeah, this is them. Planeros. So simple. Look, he's touching it. Da, 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 da. Just the tips of his fingers. So this instrument right here is a Taino instrument, and so
Hard body.
and so the maracas.
That's us.
Those words are actually Taino words. Hurricane's a Taino word. Barbecue, believe it or not, is a Taino word. But yeah, these guys right here, their album, and I wish I could find their album. Actually, I see
Barbecue's American. How dare you?
Yeah, exactly. Don't tell them that, African.
How dare you?
Anyway, their albums, their this group, whatever they're called, you could play their. If you just play their music while you're cooking, just let it rock in the background. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
You've done it. I'm
I've
assuming.
done it, yeah.
You've done it, obviously.
And every once in a while, Bad Bunny's song will pop in there. You're like, hey, wait, what are you doing here? All right.
Let's go. We out.
We out. Peace.
Peace.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.